And with that, the Packers are 1-1. What a disappointing game. The Packers just sucked in the fourth quarter, third quarter too as well. Yes, they got a couple of offensive touchdowns, but man, if you can't stop Bijan Robinson, boy, you're going to lose the game. You're just going to lose. They just made a mockery of the Packers. The Packers' biggest weekend showed up again with their inability to stop the run at times, and Joe Barry needs to go. My God, he cannot. Well, let's get into it first. But if you like the video here, like, share, subscribe, all of that. But my God, do I have a lot to say? Jordan Love looked good at times today, but the fourth quarter just didn't do anything. I don't know why I run my mouth. As today I said the Packers or Jordan Love looked good despite losing players left and right. And I think Elton Jenkins being out hurt him in the end. They could not block for crap, could not get the ball to any wide receivers. I mean, and one of Jordan Love's biggest weaknesses showed its head today. He has no feel for the deep ball. Romeo Doubs was wide open. There's no reason why he shouldn't have been able to hit him on that 3rd and 10 throw. And it's just so many things that went into it. I mean, plus Aaron Jones was out. A.J. Dillon was just ineffective today. He had his moments here and there, but really just couldn't really get the ball going. They couldn't block. Atlanta's defense isn't the greatest in the world. They have some key pieces here and there, but come on. The Packers were dominating early on for the most part. Well, not dominating, but they had a big lead. They had a 12-point lead going into the fourth. There's no reason why they should not have won that game, but then the running just kept going and going and going. Bijan just could not be stopped. Tyler Algier could not be stopped either. And it reared its ugly head. They had moments where they could get a stop, but then fourth down comes around. What happens? Oh, easy pass, easy pass in the flat, and they get an easy first down. Young Hui Koo makes the field goal at the end of the game, and it's just a debacle. It was just a debacle for the Packers today. Through and through, yeah, Love had 3 touchdowns. He had over 150 yards, but it just this game left you feel lacking if you're a Packers fan. And I still don't think the Falcons are all that great, but they won the day, and now the Packers are 1-1 going into next week against a critical game against the Saints. That should be a good game to watch, but today it was not something to look forward to from the Bears or from the Packers. Looking forward, what are the Packers going to do differently in the coming games? Christian Watson, he needs to be back. He needs to come back healthy. Aaron Jones, hopefully he'll be able to play next week because boy, did the Packers sorely miss him today. It was a big, I mean, not to have that receiving threat in the backfield and that consistent running presence. I mean, A.J. Dillon had his moments today, but he showed that he's clearly the backup to Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is clearly the starter going forward. I mean, Jaden Reed had some good plays today when Jordan Love could find him. When Jordan Love couldn't get on the ball, he's just nowhere to be found. But that was more so on Jordan Love not being able to find Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed had a good game. Dontavian Wicks had his moments too. And the biggest thing for me in this game was that opening play that had a pass interference call, and the Packers don't do anything with it. They can't score. They can't even muster a field goal because of stupid penalties pushed them back to the point where they couldn't score. Then there's another one later on in the game, and I don't believe anything came of that. And it's just like taking advantage of penalties from the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons had over 100 yards worth of penalties today, and what came of it? Not much. Not enough to make a difference. What's going to happen going forward for the Packers? Just Love needs to get better. Who knows if he'll ever have that deep threat? I mean, there were times today where he looked like he made throws reminiscent of Aaron Rodgers. He looked pretty good, but the fourth quarter just showed that he still has a lot to learn, or he still needs growth. trust him as the Packers starting quarterback going forward. I mean, it's not like Sean Clifford is going to be it anyway. That would be a scary proposition if Sean Clifford was the starting quarterback for the Packers. That means their season's probably over, but I mean, it's just what are the Packers going to do differently? I mean, I don't think things can really get better until Joe Barry is gone as defensive coordinator. I mean, they have too much talent on that defensive line and the defense in general for them to be so bad at stopping the run or just inopportune penalties, stupid penalties that are just like that one penalty on Jonathan Owens, that face mask at the end, that was really weak. I mean, come on, Atlanta home cooking right there. But I mean, you really can't argue with the refs today. I mean, it was just the Packers just didn't live up to what they should. They had the game in the bag. All they had to do was run the ball a little bit and run the clock out a little more, and they would have gotten the win. But alas, they didn't. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, it's hard doing these videos after Packers lost, but you got to do them to stay honest. And the Packers just didn't look great today. Who knows what's going to happen going forward? Again, like I said before, Joe Barry needs to go. I mean, it's just no adaptation. It doesn't adapt to the game. Doesn't make changes. It just sticks with his original game plan, and I don't know. There's just not much more to say. What do you think about the Packers going forward? I believe the Lions lost today, so the Packers are still in it, tied for first in the division, but still week two. There's still a long way to go, so I don't want to overreact too much to this game. But going forward, this is one of those games that's probably going to come back. If the Packers are in the race for a playoffs out later on, this is going to be one of those games that's going to decide the Packers don't go to the playoffs, and it's going to be Atlanta over them. But let me know what you think of the Packers' performance today. Let me know what you think about the Packers going forward. Packers suck today. There's just no other way to say it. They didn't look great, and who knows what's going to happen going forward. Big game next week against the Saints. Hopefully they improve and do better. Finally, they're going or have their first game in Lambeau, so maybe that'll make a difference. But let me know what you think. Otherwise, have a great day, and as always, God bless.